Hello everyone, this is Prashant Chaudhary. I welcome you all to my channel Classic Power App. This is the third video or the third episode of this Power Automate beginner series. In the last two episodes, we have covered how we can actually reach to the Power Automate homepage and on the basis of what we can actually categorize our flows. Now, in the third, we'll start with the first type, which is the Automate Cloud Flows example. In this video, we'll create the basic automate type of flow from the scratch. So let's get started. I'm just heading you to my Power Automate application. So here we have the home screen of this Power Automate. So now we'll create one basic, very basic automate type of flow. So we'll go with the create and we'll proceed with the automate cloud flow. Okay, so I'm starting from the blank. You also have the option to start from the template as well, but I believe if we proceed with the blank, then we understand how each and every stage are linked to one another. Okay, so let's get started. We start from the blank. So here we need to give our flow a good name. Let's say in our example, let's say we need to create any flow that would be triggered when any item is created in the list. Okay, it would be triggered when an item is created in the list. So we'd say item create duplicate. In another list. Okay. You can give it the good name here, or you can also do the skip as well. So okay, so let's start from the skip. So here on the first, we need to set the trigger, like how my flow would be triggered. Okay, so let's understand we need to create a flow. That flow would be triggered when any item is created in the SharePoint list. And what action it needs to do, it need to create the same item in another list. Okay, so let me just open the SharePoint as well for this thing. Just open the SharePoint and with production list. Okay, so our overall aim is to open that parent and child. Yeah, that would be good. Parent list, and here I'm using opening the child list. Okay, so I have two lists. I have opened two lists. What I'm looking, whenever any item is created in the parent list, I want the same item to be created in the child list. Okay, so please ignore all these values. We are only interested in the title section. We need one value to be passed in the title column. That column would have the same value that we pass in the title of this parent. Okay, so that is our overall case. So we'll create the flow for this thing. So we'll come back here. So as this will be automate type, so how we need our flow to be triggered, it would be triggered when any item is created, any item is created in the parent list. Okay, so we need to search for the connector in the Power Automate that can trigger our flow when an item is created. Okay, so we'll search. See, in that case we have the SharePoint, so we'll search for the SharePoint first. So we got the SharePoint here. We click on this, and these are actually the triggers that we can get from the SharePoint. So just understand which trigger would meet our requirement when an item is created, when an item is created or modified, when a file is created, all this stuff. So we can see the first one, when an item is created, which we are actually looking for this only. because when any item is created in the parent list, we need the same item to be created in the child list. Okay, so we'll proceed with this character. When an item is created, so here you need to give a site address and the list. Okay, so our site address is this one only. Pass the here. We search production site. We get the site. Now we search for the list. It should be triggered when the item in the parent list is created. So we search for the parent list. So here we have this parent list. Okay, now what our work, now it has our trigger is completely ready. Now we need our action. What is our action? We need to create the same copy of this item in the child list. So we go as a child list also the SharePoint itself. So we'll search SharePoint first. We get the SharePoint, and then we can see the different type of actions we can use: add attachment, approve, cancel, check in file, checkout file, copy file, create item. So whenever you are dealing with the list, the records of the list are treated as the items. So what we need the item to be created. Okay, so that's why we'll use this character. Use this one. And here also we need to pass the site address and the list where we are actually looking to write. Okay, so we'll search for our SharePoint site. This is our site, and the list is our child list. Okay, so we'll search for child list. Okay, okay. So when I connect my this connector to my SharePoint list, I can see these columns are in the picture. Okay, so because these columns I can see from here, now I can see this is strict means these columns are mandatory. So we need title, we need project ID, we need project text. Okay, we have this project ID and project text. Okay, so our aim to just pass the value in the title itself, the same value that is created in the parent. Okay, so we need title to be filled with the title of the first connector. Okay, so we need to pass the dynamic content because it should be dynamic. Whatever if that flow would be triggered, the same title should be created in the child list. We come to this section, and here we'll search for the title. When an item is created, this is actually the name. You can see when an item is created, I will simply click on this title. So it will pass the same thing from which it has created. And now in the project ID, I'm just passing some static values. Let's pass 3 and 1. 1 and 1. Let's pass 1 and 1. 1 and the probably we pass 1. Now we'll give it a good name. Let's say create duplicate get item. Okay. Now we'll simply save this. Okay. Once it save it, we need to just test it. So when we need to test, we have the option to manually or automatically. As this flow would be triggered on the automatically. Okay, whenever any item is created, so we can completely come to this list and we can simply try to create the new item. Let's say testing flow name. I shall save this. It has created here. Now we come to the child list. Let's wait here. As these are the automate type of flows, so they take some time to get reflected. Okay, until it find any type of error. So let's just start it. Testing flow is the record name. Parent. Now see, we can't see any flow here, any record of testing flow here. So we need to just test our flow whether it has created, whether it is run or not. So it hasn't triggered yet. Maybe it takes little time. You can also check whether it is turned on or off. So it is turned on because there's an option to turn it off. So I think it needs to create. Just taking too much time. It hasn't triggered yet. See, this is actually the thing that in the automate type of flows, it takes little time to get reflected. Okay, so it should be triggered from the parent list itself. Parent list, yes. Why it hasn't triggered yet? Yeah, so it has triggered. Now I can see here in the child list. I can see I get this testing flow. See, I haven't created any item in this child list. I have created item in the parent list, but it has created one item in the child list as well. So that's how we can use the automate type of flows. Okay, any work that you need to do in your cloud platforms, you can do it from the automate type of flows. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thanks for watching this video. Let's get stay tuned for the next video where I would be discussing about the instant flows with an example. Okay, so okay everyone, thank you. Let's just stay tuned for the for the fourth video.